Ethan Brooks stood on the bridge of the Aurora Dawn, staring at the viewscreen. The old alien station floated in the black void like a broken toy. Lights flickered weakly along its hull. A distress signal came from inside. It was not a normal call for help. The message showed a young alien woman with pale blue skin and silver hair. She wore torn royal robes. Her voice was calm but scared. "Please," she said in the translation. "They will kill me soon. I am Princess Lauren of the Vexari Empire." The crew looked at each other. Captain Ryan Hayes rubbed his chin. "This is deep in neutral space. Those insurgents have heavy weapons. Our ship is not built for war." Dr. Olivia Grant checked her tablet. "The Vexari are advanced. Their tech is better than ours. But if we leave her, it could hurt future talks with their empire." Ethan listened quietly. He was the engineer and security lead. Tall, with short brown hair and steady hands. He fixed things. He fought when he had to. He did not like leaving people behind. The team met in the ready room. 4 people would go. Ethan, 2 security officers named Jake and Maria, and a medic called Sam. They put on spacesuits. The suits were thick and white, with red stripes. They carried rifles and tools. Jake said, "We scan first. If it looks too bad, we pull back." Ethan nodded, but inside he felt different. The princess's eyes and the message stayed in his mind. She looked alone. The shuttle left the Aurora Dawn. It flew silent toward the station. The big doors on the station were half open. Debris floated around like dead leaves. They docked carefully. The airlock hissed. They stepped inside. The corridor was dark. Emergency lights glowed red. Pieces of metal and wires drifted in zero gravity. The team used mag boots to walk on the floor. Their flashlights cut through the shadows. He moved slow. His rifle pointed ahead. They heard distant sounds, like metal hitting metal. Then voices in an alien language, harsh, angry. They reached a junction. A guard stood there, tall, covered in black armor, 4 arms. It turned fast. It raised a weapon. Ethan fired first. The shot hit the guard's shoulder. Sparks flew. The guard spun back, blood floating in globes. Maria and Jake moved up. They cleared the hall. More guards came. 3, then 5. They shot energy bolts. Blue light burned the walls. The humans ducked behind panels. Ethan threw a small grenade he made from ship parts. It exploded in a bright flash. 2 guards went down. The others ran. "Keep moving," Ethan said. "The signal is close." They pushed deeper. The station smelled of smoke and hot metal. Pipes leaked green fluid that floated in drops. They found a big door, locked. Ethan pulled out his tools. He worked fast. Wires sparked. The door slid open with a groan. Inside was a cell. Princess Lauren sat on the floor. Chains held her wrists. Her dress was ripped. Bruises marked her arms. She looked up. Her yellow eyes went wide. Ethan stepped in. "We are here to get you out." Lauren stared at him. "You are human?" "Yes," Ethan said. He cut the chains with a small laser cutter. "Can you walk?" She stood. She was tall, almost as tall as him. "I can run if I must." Alarms screamed. Red lights flashed. The insurgents knew they were there. Ethan led the way back. They ran through corridors. Guards chased them. Shots flew. One hit Jake in the leg. He fell. Sam helped him up. Ethan turned. He fired back. He hit one guard in the chest. The alien floated away, dead. They reached a wide-open area. Zero gravity made everything float. Bodies drifted. Broken machines spun slowly. The team pushed off walls to move faster. A big insurgent leader blocked their path. He was huge, armor thick. He laughed. "The princess stays, you die." Ethan did not answer with words. He grabbed a loose pipe from the wall. He swung hard. The pipe hit the leader's helmet. It cracked. The alien swung back with a claw. It cut Ethan's suit on the arm. Air hissed out. Ethan ignored the pain. He ticked off the floor. He flew at the leader. They crashed together. They spun in the air. Ethan punched the crack in the helmet. Again. Again. The leader's face showed. Scared now. Ethan hit one last time. The alien went limp. Lauren watched from the side. She had never seen anyone fight like this. Humans were small, weak, many said. But this one did not stop. They reached the shuttle bay. More guards came. Ethan pushed Lauren inside first. Then Sam and Jake. Maria covered the door. Ethan stayed last. He set a charge on the bay door controls. He ran in. The shuttle door closed. The charge exploded. The bay doors jammed. No one could follow. The shuttle flew out. It sped toward the Aurora Dawn. Inside, Ethan sat down. Blood came from his arm. His suit sealed the hole, but he felt weak. Lauren knelt beside him. "You are hurt." "It's nothing," Ethan said. He tried to smile. "Just a scratch." She touched his hand. Her skin was cool. "You risked everything. For me, a stranger." Ethan looked at her. No one should die alone in a cage. The shuttle docked. They took Ethan to the bay. He passed out as they lifted him. On the bridge, Captain Hayes watched the station grow small behind them. "He did it," he said quietly. "One man saved their princess." Dr. Grant smiled. Humans always surprise people. In the medbay, Lauren sat by Ethan's bed. He slept. Machines beeped softly. She looked at his face. Strong, tired, kind. She whispered, "Thank you, Ethan Brooks." Outside, stars shone bright. The Aurora Dawn turned toward home. But this rescue changed things. Big things. The Vexari Empire would hear about the human who fought like he had nothing to lose. Princess Lauren walked beside Ethan through the wide palace halls. The floor was cool under their feet. Soft lights came from crystals set in the walls. Guards stood at every corner. They watched Ethan closely. Some nodded with respect. Others stared like he was a strange animal. Ethan wore new clothes now. A simple tunic and pants in dark blue. Vexari style. But they felt stiff. Not like his old uniform. He missed the familiar weight of his tools on his belt. They reached a large open garden. Tall plants with glowing flowers grew everywhere. Water fell from high rocks into clear pools. The air smelled sweet. Lauren stopped. "This is my favorite place," she said. "When I was young, I came here to think." Ethan looked around. "It's nice. Quiet." Lauren sat on a stone bench. She patted the spot next to her. Ethan sat. He stretched his legs. His arms still ached a little from the wound. "You look tired," she said. "Long days," Ethan answered. "Meetings, ceremonies, people staring." Lauren smiled. "They are curious. A human hero in the palace. It is new." Ethan rubbed his neck. "I'm no hero. Just did what needed doing." She looked at him. "You say that. But you change things. My mother talks about you. The guards ask questions. Even the cooks want to know what humans eat." Ethan laughed. "Tell them burgers and fries. But good luck finding those here." Lauren tilted her head. "Burgers?" "Food from home," he said. "Meat between bread. Simple, good." She nodded. "I would like to try it someday." They sat quiet for a while. Birds with bright wings flew overhead. The sun was setting. Colors filled the sky. Orange, purple, gold. Lauren spoke again. "My mother wants you to train some guards. She says your ways are different, useful." Ethan raised an eyebrow. "Train them?" "Yes. Hand to hand. Improvised weapons. Things you did on the station." Ethan thought about it. "I can show them a few tricks. But I'm not here to change your army." Lauren looked serious. "Maybe you should. Our ways are old, safe, but sometimes too safe." Ethan met her eyes. You think your people need to change? Not all, she said, but some. I see it now, because of you. Ethan did not know what to say. He looked at the flowers. They moved gently in the breeze. Later that evening, a servant came to Ethan's room. The Queen requests your presence. Ethan followed the servant through long halls. They entered a small chamber. Not the big throne room. This one was private. Queen Valeria sat at a table. Maps and screens glowed in front of her. She looked up. Sit. Ethan sat. The chair was hard. You have been here 1 week, the Queen said. You behave well, you speak little, you watch much. Ethan nodded. I learn by watching. Good, she said. Now listen. The debt is not just words. You will serve my daughter, protect her, advise her, and in time, perhaps advise me. Ethan stayed quiet. The Queen leaned forward. You do not like this. I don't like being forced, Ethan said plainly. Queen Valeria's eyes flashed. Force? No. Honor. You saved her. This is payment. Ethan looked straight at her. I saved her because it was right, not for payment. The Queen studied him. Long seconds passed. Then she spoke softer. That is why you are here. My people. We calculate. We plan. You act. You feel. It is strange, but strong. Ethan did not reply. Tomorrow, the Queen continued, you begin training. 5 guards. Show them your human ways. No killing blows, just defense, speed, surprise. Ethan nodded. I can do that. The Queen stood. Go now, rest. Ethan left. His mind turned. Training guards meant he had a job, something to do. Maybe a way to earn trust, or find a way out. The next morning, Ethan met the guards in a training yard. Open air, hard ground, weapons on racks, swords, staffs, energy blades. The 5 guards were young, strong, 4 arms each. They stood tall. They looked at Ethan like he was small. Ethan smiled. Morning. They did not smile back. He started simple. First rule, never underestimate your opponent. Size does not win. Mind does. He picked up a wooden staff. Come at me. Slow. One guard stepped forward. He swung the staff hard. Ethan ducked. He tapped the guard's leg with his own staff. The guard stumbled. See, Ethan said, you telegraphed your move. I saw it coming. The guards murmured. They trained for hours. Ethan showed them how to use the ground, how to turn an enemy's strength against them, how to make traps from nothing. The guards started to listen. One even asked questions. Lauren watched from the side. She smiled when Ethan knocked a guard down gently. She clapped once. Quiet. After training, Ethan wiped sweat from his face. Lauren walked over. You did well, she said. They are good fighters, Ethan answered. Just need new ideas. My mother will hear of this. That night, Ethan could not sleep. He stood at his window. The city lights shone like stars on the ground. He thought about home, the Aurora Dawn, his friends. Captain Hayes had sent a message. We are working on it. Stay safe. But Ethan knew. Diplomatic talks took time. Months, years maybe. He clenched his fist. He would not wait forever. A knock came. Lauren stood at the door. May I come in? She asked. Ethan stepped aside. Sure. She walked to the window, stood beside him. I spoke to my mother, she said. She is pleased with the training, but she is also careful. She fears you will change too much. Ethan looked at her. Change what? Us, Lauren said. Our ways, our control. Ethan sighed. I don't want to control anyone. I just want to go home. Lauren turned to him. Her eyes were soft. I know, but I also know I like having you here. Ethan felt something shift inside him. He looked away. Lauren touched his hand. Light, careful. Thank you for staying. Ethan looked back. You're welcome. They stood like that, quiet. The night was warm. Outside the palace slept. But Ethan knew the Queen did not sleep easy. She watched, always. And Ethan watched too. He saved the princess once. Now he had to save himself. The morning sun filled the palace with golden light. Ethan woke early. He dressed in the same dark blue tunic. Today felt different. He had a meeting with Queen Valeria, alone. A servant led him through quiet halls. They passed fewer guards. The air grew cooler. They stopped at tall double doors made of dark metal. The servant knocked once. A voice inside said, "Enter." Ethan stepped in. The room was large but simple. No bright crystals, just a long table, 2 chairs, and a window that looked over the city. Queen Valeria stood by the window. Her back was to him. She wore a long silver robe. Her hair was tied high. She did not turn right away. "Sit," she said. Ethan sat. The chair felt cold. The queen turned. Her yellow eyes were sharp. She walked to the table and sat across from him. She placed her 4 hands on the surface. 2 folded, 2 open. "You have done well these past weeks," she began. "The guards speak of your lessons. They move faster now. They think before they strike. This pleases me." Ethan nodded. "They are quick learners." The queen studied him. "But you are not one of us. You do not bow. You do not lower your eyes. You speak plain words. No titles, no fear." Ethan met her gaze. "I respect strength, not titles." A small smile touched her lips. It was not warm. "That is the human way. I have read reports. Your people fight wars over ideas. You build ships from scrap. You laugh at danger. You refuse to kneel." Ethan stayed quiet. The queen leaned forward. 3 days ago my daughter asked me to send you home. She said the debt was paid. She said you deserved freedom. And what did you say?" "I said no." Ethan's hands tightened on the arms of the chair. The queen continued, "Ancient law is clear. A life saved creates a bond. The savior serves until the saved one releases him, or until the crown declares the debt balanced. I have not declared it balanced." Ethan spoke slowly. "I saved Lauren because she was in danger, not to own her life, or mine." The queen's voice grew harder. "You do not decide the law. We do." Ethan leaned back. "Then keep me here forever, but I will not pretend this is right." The queen stood. She walked to the window again. "You will stay. You will guard her. You will train more guards. You will live in the palace. If you try to leave, the debt passes to Lauren. She will face exile, or worse. Do you want that on your conscience?" Ethan felt anger rise, but he kept his voice level. "No, I don't." The queen turned. "Good. Then it is decided." Ethan stood. "One question." She waited. "Why keep me?" he asked. "You have thousands of guards, better tech, longer lives. What do you need from one human?" The queen looked at him for a long time. "Because you are unpredictable. Your people surprise us. On the station, you should have died, but you won. I want that surprise on our side, not against us." Ethan said nothing more. He bowed his head just a little, and left. Outside he walked fast. His steps echoed. He found Lauren in the garden. She sat under a tree. When she saw his face, she stood. "What happened?" she asked. "Your mother said no," Ethan told her. "I'm staying, for good, unless she changes her mind." Lauren's face fell. "I begged her last night." Ethan looked at the ground. "She used you as a threat. If I leave, you pay the price." Lauren closed her eyes. "She would not exile me, but she could shame me, make me lose my place, keep me from the throne." Ethan rubbed his face. "I won't let that happen." Lauren stepped closer. "Then stay, but not as a prisoner, as my friend, as my guard. Help me change things from inside." Ethan looked at her. "You want to change the empire?" "Yes," she said, slowly, "with new ideas, your ideas. Humans do not accept chains. Maybe we do not have to either." Ethan thought about it. "It could take years." I know, Lauren said, but I am not afraid. Are you? Ethan gave a small laugh. No, I'm not. They walked together through the garden. The flowers glowed brighter in the afternoon light. Later that day, Ethan went to the training yard. More guards waited now, 10 instead of 5. Word had spread. They wanted to learn from the human who beat their best. Ethan started the session. Today we work on teamwork. One person distracts, another strikes. Never fight alone if you can help it. He paired them up. He showed them how to signal without words, how to read body language, how to use the environment. One guard, a young one named Kale, asked, "Why do humans fight this way? We have better weapons, better armor." Ethan picked up a stick from the ground. Because sometimes the weapon fails, the armor breaks, then you have only yourself and your friends. That is enough. Kale nodded slowly. They trained until the sun was low. Sweat covered everyone's skin. Tired, but good. That night, a message came to his room. From Captain Ryan Hayes. It was short. "We are talking to their diplomats. They say you are safe. They say you are honored. But they will not let you go yet. Hold on. We are not giving up." Ethan read it twice. Then he deleted it. He could not risk anyone finding it. He stood at the window. The city lights twinkled. Somewhere out there, his ship waited. His people waited. But here, Lauren waited too. And the guards looked to him now, not with fear, with respect. Queen Valeria watched from her tower. She saw the lights in Ethan's window. She knew he would not run. Not yet. She turned to her advisor. "Keep eyes on him, always." The advisor bowed. "Yes, my queen." Ethan lay on his bed. He stared at the ceiling. He thought about the station, the fight, the blood, the moment he cut Lauren's chains. He saved her once. Now the queen held him with invisible chains. But Ethan Brooks did not break easy. He would wait. He would watch. He would learn their ways. And when the time came, he would find a way. Not with force, not with tricks, with the one thing humans always had: stubborn hope. He closed his eyes. Tomorrow was another day. Months passed in the palace like slow-moving water. Ethan woke each day to the same soft light filtering through thin curtains. He rose, dressed in the now familiar dark tunic, and stepped into routines that had started to feel almost normal. Almost. He spent mornings in the training yard. The number of guards who came to learn from him grew to 20, then 30. They no longer looked at him like an outsider. They called him teacher now, a word that felt strange, but not bad. Ethan showed them new things every week. How to break a hold with a quick twist of the wrist. How to use a fallen branch as a lever. How to listen to an enemy's breathing to know when they would strike. One guard, Kale, became his best student. Tall and quick, with sharp eyes. After practice one day, Kale stayed behind while the others left. "Teacher," he said, "why do you never use our energy blades?" Ethan wiped sweat from his brow. "Because I don't need them. A blade is loud. It glows. It tells everyone where you are. Sometimes quiet wins." Kale nodded slowly. "Our old masters say strength comes from better tools." Ethan smiled. "Tools help, but the hand that holds them matters more." Kale looked thoughtful. "I will remember that." In the afternoons, Ethan walked with Lauren through the palace grounds. They talked about small things at first. The weather, the food, the way the twin moons looked at night. Then the talks grew deeper. Lauren told him about her childhood. Strict lessons, endless rules, no room to fail. "I was taught to be perfect," she said one day as they sat by a pool. "But perfection is heavy." Ethan tossed a small stone into the water. It made circles that spread and vanished. "On Earth, we fail all the time. We fall down. We get up. That's how we learn." Lauren watched the ripples. "I wish I could fall sometimes, just to see what happens." Ethan looked at her. "You can. Start small. Say no to something you always said yes to." She laughed quietly. Like what? Like wearing those heavy formal robes to dinner tonight. Wear something simple. See if the world ends. Lauren's eyes sparkled. You are dangerous, Ethan Brooks. He shrugged. Just honest. That evening Lauren appeared at the family meal in a plain gray dress. No jewels, no long train. Queen Valeria raised one eyebrow but said nothing. The other nobles whispered. Lauren sat taller than usual. Ethan sat at the far end of the table, as always. He caught her eye once. She gave a tiny smile. After that, small changes began. Lauren asked for fewer ceremonies. She spent more time in the gardens and less in council rooms. She read old human books that Dr. Olivia Grant had sent through diplomatic channels. Stories of people who questioned kings and queens. Stories of freedom. Rumors spread fast in a palace. Servants talked. Guards talked. Advisors talked. They said the princess was changing. They said the human was the reason. They said he brought strange ideas. Dangerous ideas. Queen Valeria heard every word. One afternoon, she called Ethan to her private study. The room felt colder than before. She stood behind her desk. All four hands rested on its edge. You influence my daughter, she said. No greeting, no softness. Ethan stood straight. We talk, that's all. You talk of freedom, of choice, of failing and rising again. Ethan did not deny it. She asks questions. I answer them. The queen's voice dropped. She is heir to an empire, not a child playing games. These ideas weaken her. They weaken us. Ethan kept his tone even. A leader who never questions is a leader who never grows. Queen Valeria stepped closer. You forget your place. You are here because of debt, not because we want your wisdom. Ethan met her eyes. Then why not send me away? The debt would end. Because Lauren would follow, the queen said sharply. She trusts you. She listens to you. If you leave, she will resent me more. Ethan stayed silent for a moment. You fear losing her. The queen's face tightened. I fear losing the empire to foolish change. Ethan spoke carefully. Change isn't always foolish. Sometimes it's needed. Queen Valeria turned away. Enough. From now on you will have less time with her. More duties, ceremonial ones. You will stand at doors. You will carry messages. You will be seen, but not heard. Ethan felt the walls close in. And if I refuse? You will not, she said, because you care for her safety. He left the room without another word. The restrictions began the next day. Guards followed Ethan everywhere. Lauren's schedule filled with meetings he could not attend. When they did meet, it was brief. In hallways, in corners, always watched. One night, Lauren slipped into the training yard after dark. Ethan was there alone, practicing moves with a wooden staff. She stepped into the moonlight. I had to see you. Ethan lowered the staff. They watch us. I know, she said, but I needed to talk. They sat on the low wall that bordered the yard. My mother is afraid, Lauren whispered. She thinks you will take me away, not with force, with ideas. Ethan looked at the stars. I'm not trying to take you anywhere. I know, she said, but I want to go somewhere. Not forever, just to see. To learn. To breathe. Ethan turned to her. Then we find a way. Quietly. Carefully. Lauren reached out and touched his arm. You would risk that? For me? I already risked worse, he said. On the station. She smiled, small and real. You did. They sat in silence. The night wind moved the leaves. Ethan spoke after a while. I started looking into things, quietly. The old laws, the debt records. There are gaps. Old cases where debts were forgiven early. For service. For greater good. Lauren's eyes widened. You think we can use that? Maybe, Ethan said, but we need proof, and time. She nodded. Then we take time. From then on they met in secret. Short moments, stolen words. Ethan kept training the guards, but he also listened. He learned who was loyal to the queen, who was loyal to Lauren, who was loyal only to themselves. He fixed small things around the palace too. A broken light panel, a stuck door, a leaking fountain. Each fix earned quiet thanks from servants and guards. Small favors added up. One evening, Kale found him in the yard again. "Teacher," Kale said, "some of us talk. We see what is happening. The princess is brighter now, stronger, because of you." Ethan looked at him. "Be careful what you say." Kale lowered his voice. "We are careful, but we are not blind." Ethan did not answer, but he felt something shift, not just in Lauren, in the palace itself. The queen's grip was tight, but cracks were forming. Ethan knew patience. He had waited on the station for the right moment to strike. He would wait here too, and when the moment came, he would be ready. The grand hall of the palace shone with light from 1,000 crystals. It was the day of the Unity Festival. Nobles from every corner of the Vexari Empire filled the space. Long tables held food and drink. Music played soft and low. Everyone wore their finest robes. Colors flashed like jewels under the high ceiling. Princess Lauren stood near the center platform. She wore a simple silver dress. No heavy jewels, no long train. She looked calm, but her hands stayed close to her sides. Ethan stood a few steps behind her. He wore the dark tunic of a palace guard, but everyone knew he was more. His eyes moved over the crowd. He noticed everything. The way some nobles smiled too wide, the way others whispered behind hands. Queen Valeria sat on the raised throne. Her silver robe caught the light. Her face showed no feeling, but her 4 hands rested tight on the arms of the chair. The festival moved forward. Speeches, songs, gifts presented to the queen and princess. Then came the moment for the royal walk. Lauren would move through the hall, greet the guests, show the empire she was strong, safe, ready to lead one day. She stepped forward. Ethan followed close, not too close, but near enough to act if needed. The crowd parted. Smiles greeted her. Words of praise filled the air. Then, near the middle of the hall, it happened. A sharp crack, like glass breaking, but louder. A noble near the front pulled something from his robe. A small device. It glowed red. He raised it toward Lauren. Ethan moved before anyone else. He pushed Lauren down. Her body hit the soft carpet. He rolled over her. The device fired. A bolt of energy hissed through the air where her head had been. It struck a pillar. Stone cracked. Smoke rose. Screams filled the hall. People ran. Guards drew weapons. Ethan sprang up. He saw 3 more figures moving fast. Black cloaks. Masks. They carried energy blades. One rushed toward Lauren. Ethan met him halfway. He grabbed the attacker's wrist. Twisted hard. The blade fell. Ethan drove his knee into the attacker's stomach. The man doubled over. Ethan hit him once in the jaw. He dropped. Another attacker came from the side. Ethan ducked the swing. He grabbed a fallen chair, used it like a shield. The energy blade cut into the wood. Sparks flew. Ethan pushed forward. The attacker stumbled back. Ethan kicked his knee. The man fell. The third attacker reached Lauren. She had stood up. She held a small dagger from her belt. She looked scared but steady. The attacker raised his blade. Ethan threw himself between them. The blade came down. It cut across Ethan's shoulder. Pain burned hot. Blood flowed. But he did not stop. He grabbed the attacker's arm, pulled him close, head-butted him hard. The mask cracked. The attacker fell back. Guards rushed in now. They surrounded the attackers. Chains clicked. The fight ended fast. The hall grew quiet. Smoke still hung in the air. People stared. Ethan stood breathing hard. Blood dripped from his shoulder onto the floor. Lauren touched his arm. "Ethan." He looked at her. "You okay?" She nodded, tears in her eyes. "Yes, because of you." Queen Valeria rose from her throne. She walked down the steps. The crowd moved aside. She stopped in front of them. "Take the prisoners to the cells," she ordered. Her voice was calm, too calm. Guards dragged the attackers away. One of them, the first one, laughed before they pulled him out. "The Queen knew," he said. "She let it happen." The words hung in the air. Queen Valeria's face did not change, but her eyes flicked to Ethan. He felt it then. The truth. She had known. Maybe not all, but enough. A test. A way to prove the human could not be trusted, or to prove he would fail, or to scare Lauren back into line. Ethan stepped forward. Blood stained his tunic. He spoke loud enough for the whole hall to hear. "You knew," he said. "You let them in. You wanted to see what would happen. To me. To her." Gasps rippled through the crowd. The Queen lifted her chin. "You speak out of place." Ethan did not back down. "No, I speak truth. I saved your daughter once. I just saved her again. And you used her life like a game piece." Lauren stepped beside him. "Mother?" Queen Valeria looked at her daughter. For the first time, something cracked in her face. A small line of worry. Ethan continued. "The debt you talk about, it's paid, 10 times over. I did not come here to serve forever. I came to help, and I have. But this ends now." He turned to the crowd. "Your laws say a debt can be balanced by greater service. Saving the heir twice is greater service. Protecting the empire from its own mistakes is greater service." Murmurs grew. Some nobles nodded slowly. Others looked afraid. Ethan looked back at the Queen. "Release me, or keep me. But if you keep me, you lose her trust, forever." Lauren spoke next, her voice clear. "Mother, let him go. Not because the law says so, because it is right." Queen Valeria stood silent. Long seconds passed. The hall waited. Then she spoke. "The debt is balanced." A breath went through the room. She continued. "You are granted honorary citizenship in the Vexari Empire. You may come and go as you wish. An alliance between our people and yours will be signed. Strong, lasting." She looked at Lauren. "And you, my daughter, you may choose your path. If you wish to travel, to learn, to see the human worlds, you have my blessing." Lauren's eyes filled with tears. She stepped forward, hugged her mother. Queen Valeria held her close. For the first time, she looked like a mother, not just a queen. Ethan stood back. His shoulder throbbed, but he smiled. Later, in the quiet garden, Lauren found him. He sat on the same bench. A medic had bandaged his wound. She sat beside him. "You did it." "We did it," he said. She looked at the stars. "I want to go with you, for a while, as ambassador, as friend." Ethan nodded. "I'd like that." They sat quiet. The night wind moved the glowing flowers. Ethan spoke after a while. "I never thought I'd end up here, saving princesses, changing empires." Lauren laughed softly. "You did not just save me. You saved us from being afraid of change." He looked at her. "And you saved me from being stuck." She touched his hand. "Then we are even." The next morning, Ethan packed a small bag. Simple things, a few tools, a shirt from home. Lauren waited at the shuttle pad. She wore practical clothes, no royal robes. Queen Valeria came to see them off. She stood tall, but her eyes were soft. "Take care of her," she said to Ethan. "I will," he answered. The Queen looked at her daughter. "Come back when you are ready." "I will." The shuttle door opened. Ethan and Lauren stepped inside. As the shuttle lifted off, Ethan looked out the window. The palace grew small. The city. The planet. He felt light. Free. Lauren sat beside him. "What now?" she asked. Ethan smiled. "Now, we go home. Show you burgers. Show you Earth. And maybe show your people what humans can do when they are free." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "I like that plan." The stars stretched ahead, bright, endless. One determined human had started it all. With a rescue, with stubborn courage, with refusal to bow. And in the end, He did not just save a princess, he helped save an empire. From itself.